Alrighty. It's about 8:04 a.m. I do know what time it is. I'm on my way to Bojangles yet again. And to give you a little, I think, necessary context for why it seems like I'm so fascinated with this restaurant. It's not a sponsored thing. It's not SponCon. This is an authentic, from the heart, love of Bojangles. So I'm in North Carolina right now, which a response I got to that video a lot was like, "What the fuck is Bojangles?" Just a fair question. Bojangles is a chain of it is a fried chicken restaurant. Don't hit me with your car. It's a fried chicken restaurant that exists, I think, primarily in North Carolina, but I think it's also in like South Carolina and like maybe Atlanta, but it exists in like the southeastern United States. And I grew up around it. There was a lot of Bojangles in my life as a young man. And now I live in Los Angeles, California. And so I do not have that unfettered access to Bojangles. And so in the few parts, somebody says we have tons in Alabama. Okay. During those rare times when I am back in the South, I love to get as much Bojangles into my system as possible. Now, as for why I haven't slept, because that's also a fair question. My voice sounds a little weird. That's part of it. I have a cold. I just got back from New York City, and boy, are my arms tired. I just got back from New York City like 3 or 4 days ago, and like within 12 hours of flying home, I immediately came down with a cold, which has led to, it's just like, it's not even a bad cold. It's just a boring, annoying cold, which has led to my sleep schedule being weird, a lot of staying up late for no reason, a lot of taking NyQuil and then fighting through the NyQuil and just being delirious, which is fun. So I woke up at like 2 p.m. Yesterday, and I have this thing now. Like, I didn't used to know, before I made that fucking video, man, I didn't know what time Bojangles opened. But now, the new me, I'm like, every time I look at a clock and it's like 4:45 in the morning, I'm like, 45 minutes till Bojangles opens. I could just tough it out. And so far I've done that like 3 times. Jasmine says it's 5 p.m. Yeah, it is 8:07 a.m. I got plenty of clocks at my disposal this time. I'm trying to think of what to get, because like the most picturesque food at Bojangles is not the breakfast food at Bojangles necessarily. Like, the thing that I love to get, the thing that I got in that video, is the Cajun chicken filet biscuit, which is really just a made from scratch butter biscuit. Which I know we probably have a lot of GMT time zone people in the chat right now. A biscuit over here is a fluffy scone, not a cookie. But it's basically a super salty, super buttery biscuit with a kind of spicy Cajun fried chicken breast patty in the middle. It fucking owns. So, Penguin Vincent saying get the Bowberry biscuit. I haven't. So here's the thing. I've avoided the Bowberry biscuit every time I've gone to Bojangles for the past like 10 years, because I remember trying it once and thinking it was not that good. And then I realized what I think I'm actually thinking of is at Hardee's, they have like a blueberry, when I was like in high school, they had a blueberry biscuit at Hardee's that I got once that I hated. And I think I've maybe never had the Bowberry biscuit. There was a recent flight I had that had a layover in Charlotte, North Carolina, that was about an hour and a half long. And I did indulge at the Charlotte International Airport Bojangles. I got their cinnamon rolls, which I think are got to be a similar formula to the Bowberry biscuit. I'll get a Bowberry biscuit. You've convinced me. By saying nothing other than the words Bowberry biscuit, you've convinced me to purchase that. By the way, there's at least one stretch of road here where there's very little cell signal. So if at any point during this stream I just vanish, hang tight. I will be back shortly. I feel like I look and sound about as sick as I feel. About a 5 out of 10 on the health scale. Get the entire breakfast menu. The thing is with Bojangles, it's hard to delineate what is and isn't the breakfast menu. They don't have a discrete breakfast menu like you might see at a McDonald's or at Chick-fil-A. They have everything is available at Bojangles all the time as far as I know, except for the coffee. which I found out they stopped serving fresh coffee out in front of house at like 11 a.m., which I learned last time I was there. There's no Bojangles in my country, sad life. You know, even if you lived in America, your odds of having a Bojangles anywhere near you would be pretty low. They're just not that common. Which is why the response to that video I did was over and over. I saw a lot of what the fuck is Bojangles. I actually wonder if maybe part of that video's success is there's a thread, a mystery to it of what the fuck is this restaurant I've never heard of that he seems excited about and that is advertised apparently multiple times in the span of less than 10 minutes on the radio. One question I've gotten a lot about that video, and if you guys have any questions about that video, I'd be happy to field them, maybe once I'm parked and eating. One question I get a lot on that video is, why did I turn on the radio? Because the radio, to many people, seems like an obvious culprit to that might tell you what time it is. The answer to that is threefold. One, that video is maybe meant to be a little bit silly, maybe not the most serious challenge in the world. Two, because I was recording on my phone, I couldn't connect my phone to listen to music in the car because I was filming. So that meant that I didn't want to drive around all night in an already pretty delirious state and not have music to listen to. So I just turned on the radio because I wanted to have something to listen to. And I feel like I had a third reason. Oh, the third reason is the radio's not a big part of my life. I don't think it's a big part of modern life, especially somebody who doesn't drive or have a car most of the time. Like, I don't have a car in California. I have a driver's license, but I don't need to drive because I'm mostly at home, cooped up in a room making YouTube videos. So as a result of that, like, I honestly wasn't thinking, oh, they say the time on the radio all the time. It's just not part of my mental vocabulary. Jackson Case says, by the looks of the trees around you, you're either in North Carolina or Tennessee. Interesting. You can tell from there's some deciduous trees. This is North Carolina. Nando's, please. No Nando's in this part of the world. Is there? Maybe there is. Yeah. What else should I talk about? If you guys have actual questions for me, I'll be looking at the chat once I'm like parked and safely in the drive-thru with my food. So save them for when I'm paying attention. But have you been to Zaxby's? That's not how you spell Zaxby's, first of all. I don't think I have. I've been to Popeyes kind of a lot because that was my only option for decent fried chicken. Like decent fast food fried chicken in San Francisco, which is where I used to live. I don't know that I've ever had Zaxby's. Yeah. I think I bristle when I've had people try to explain Bojangles to non-Southerners as, oh, it's like Popeyes. And I bristle at that comparison just out of weird Southern heritage pride or whatever the fuck. But in reality, it's not that different. I mean, like, I guess in terms of quality, it's not that different. Like, it's a different taste. Bojangles has a Cajun spicy aspect to it. And I prefer Bojangles for sure. But Popeyes is pretty fucking good. Like, in terms of just fried chicken, you're not going to get anything like the Cajun filet biscuit there. You're certainly not going to get any Bo-Berry biscuits. The biscuits in general at Popeyes are very low tier biscuits on the biscuit tier list compared to what Bojangles is working with. Bojangles is a salty, buttery, fall apart in your mouth biscuit, whereas Popeyes kind of has a notoriously dry, throat choking biscuit that I'll still power my way through a Popeyes biscuit, no problem. And I might have screwed them up there. I might have said that wrong because I'm delirious and haven't slept. Biscuit tier list video when? Not a bad idea. I had an idea for a video about 30 minutes ago that I am so excited about. I'm like more excited about it than I have been. It's so fucking stupid, and I can't tell you what the idea is because that'll just spoil the joke. But woo boy, I'm fucking thrilled about it. It'll probably come out in early to mid-February. But it's my criteria for if a video is worth pursuing or not is if I can if I can't think about it without kind of smiling or laughing, or at least smiling a little bit, then I feel good about it. And that's where I'm at with this one right now. So I just gotta hold on to that energy until the day comes when I am able to shoot it. Bojangles commercials sure do work. Fucking, I mean, I might argue that I made one of the most popular Bojangles commercials without knowing it of all time. There are some people who are earnestly, oh, there's a line at Bojangles today, Mamma Mia. There are some people who've earnestly asked me if that was like a sponsored Bojangles content. Like Bojangles is paying small to mid-sized gaming YouTubers to advertise their product in 45 states that they don't exist in. We're here, by the way, baby. We're fucking up in the Bojangles. I might have to do a full-fledged review of the week, review bra parked review. I said the word review a lot there. Oh, we're at Bojangles. This is the Bojangles. I just got a nice southern friendly nod from a gentleman. That's that southern hospitality, baby. You don't get that anywhere else. That's one thing that does not exist in Los Angeles, I'll tell you right now. Oh, what am I getting? I have to wing it. We open at 5:30.
What am I take order?
Hey, could I get a Cajun filet biscuit?
Not the combo, just the biscuit.
I'll take the combo, please.
Side and drink.
Bow rounds and a hot coffee.
Alright,
And
anything else for you, sir?
yeah, can I get a single bowberry biscuit?
You want to get 2 for 180?
No, I'm good with just one for now, I think.
Alright, what else?
I think also, real quick, can you tell me what time it is?
I don't know what time it is.
Yeah, do you know what time it is?
Yeah, both time.
Oh, it's bow time. That's what I like to hear. All right, cool. All right, well, that'll be it for me.
697.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Holy shit. could not have scripted that better if I tried. Oh, awesome. I can't believe he said that. What if I honestly wanted to know? Oh my gosh. Dan Rumor says you got that bit turned on yourself hard. I fully did. I'm sure you can see the shock on my face. Oh, what a treat. You really tried to upsell me on the double bowberry biscuit too, didn't you? You notice that? I was like, can I get one bowberry biscuit? He's like, you want to make it 2 for $1.89? And I'm like, I don't, but you drive a hard bargain. It's bow time, baby. Southern Esther says Wins Challenge Part 2. I've given that a lot of thought. I don't want to do a Part 2 of that unless I have something to add to it. But I've got some ideas. I just don't want to, I don't want to rush into it. I don't want to do it just for the sake of doing it. I have to have something new to bring to the table. And that's that on that. Why did you have the thought of streaming your breakfast? Because I'm a sociopath. Hope that helps. Get the two and mash them together. Have you ever discarded potential video ideas for being too random or too dumb? I'll tell you what. Yes. And I almost did that with the waking up and not knowing what time it is thing. And now I'm never going to fucking do it again. Now I'm like, I have the most verifiable evidence that I should, if the stupider the idea is, the more important it is that I see it through. Aren't you the Domino's Miku guy? Yes, that's correct. Do you plan on moving away from California in general? The rent prices can't be worth it. I go back and forth on that. Like, because on the one hand, theoretically, I could do what I do anywhere, right? But on the other hand, A, I really like California. B, like, there's certain things I couldn't have done if I was not in California. Like the Tetris video I did, I don't know if you saw that, but that video could only, I pulled that video together in 18 hours. Like I had the idea, hold on, I'm gonna pay for my Bojangles. Hey there.
697. There you go.
Oh, thank you so much. Sanitation rating of 99. Thank you. I'm reading stuff I've written on the wall. If you were needing to request a day off, you must request it off 2 days in advance. Oh, there's my Bowberry biscuit. Oh, great.
Yeah, Bowberry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, man.
Thanks, you too. Woo. Is that a thing that if you ask a Bojangles drive-through what time it is, they're supposed to say it's bow time? No, it's not. Because I asked that woman what time it was, and she said it was 5:15. So clearly not. I'm like a weird guy in the Bojangles parking lot talking with my window open. I'm actually gonna park in a corner here. I would love to get that review bra shot where you can see the Bojangles logo in the corner. But maybe that's not gonna happen. I can't fucking believe it. It's bow time. Dream come true. Let me put this bad boy in park. Why did you ask what time it was in the original Bojangles review? That's a great question. I mean, there's this tension that nobody wants to acknowledge in that video. There's a tension between, is the challenge that I don't want to know what time it is, or I want to try to find out what time it is without looking at a clock? Like, it's not even clear to me as I was making it what the goal was. So, that's part of it. Also, like, I had heard the clock, the radio, remember it said like it's 5 o'clock it's 5 a.m., 2:30 in the morning, that whole thing. I had a sense at that point that it was like after 5, but I didn't know exactly what time it was. And it just felt like the right time to find out. Like, it was a perfect ending, I thought. It needed to end somewhere. Why not have it end with me having reached, fucking hero's journey, fucking I made it to my destination. Just that classic arc, through the threshold, the woman at the Walmart who tried to help me find a GameCube is the meeting with the goddess. It really kind of perfectly falls into that structure, that classic structure. Was the no clock thing the worst challenge you've ever done? It's the only challenge I've ever done. That's not the type of YouTube person I am. I'm not really in the challenge game. What if they actually had a GameCube? Dude, so the reason, to walk you through my logic in that moment, the reason I said GameCube is because I saw that the video game section was closed, right? It's bow time. Oh, am I really gonna talk and eat at the same time? That's not cute. I saw that the video game section was closed. So my thinking was, I'm gonna ask this employee what time this section opens up. That way I can put an upper limit on what time it's not, right? So if she said, oh, it opens up at 6, I would know that it wasn't 6 yet, and I could use that to kind of hone in on the time. And that's what I mean when I say that it's kind of a stupid fucking video, because do I want to find out what time it is or not? It's not clear. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I walked up to her and was like, hey, what time did the section open up? Hoping she would just give me a number. But again, it's that Southern hospitality I was telling you about. She didn't give me a number. She offered to help. She was like, oh, I can grab whatever, what do you need, honey? I can grab whatever you want from this section. And I was like, oh, fuck. And my head really quickly ran through the possibilities of like, if I say any video game product that is on store shelves right now, she'll fucking grab it and hand it to me. And then I have to buy it or pay for it or walk back with my tail between my legs and be like, just kidding, I don't want it anymore, which would not feel good. So I had to say something that I knew she wouldn't have at Walmart, right? But keep in mind that all of these thoughts that I just spelled out for you had to happen over the course of 0.5 seconds. So the thing that came out of my mouth was GameCube, because I needed plausible deniability that it's something that maybe a dipshit could walk into a Walmart and maybe think that they have, but I knew in my heart and in my head they don't have it. These bow rounds are fucking amazing. They're so good. You know what's weird? Is like, normally the only time I fuck with hash browns, I'm sorry I'm cussing so much. Yeah, complete insertion on that bow round. I did that one whole hog. Normally, like, I don't like the puck style hash brown. Like, I think McDonald's hash browns aren't good. But I love, like, Waffle House hash browns, where it's actual fucking hash browns that are, like, chopped up on a big ass grill in front of you and, like, just a big pile of pickup sticks. Hash browns are like a chopped up fried potato thing, to people who are asking. So normally any like pre-portioned hash brown like this is bullshit to me, but these are so goddamn good. I don't know what it is. There's definitely some sort of like tiny bits of onion in here, I think. It's so fucking awesome. It's like it just came out of the fryer too. I don't know how you got suggested to me, but I started watching your vids all the time. Denny's has the chopped hash browns. They're pretty good. Oh, interesting. So that might be an option for non-Southerners to get access to those. Somebody was asking, God, I just can't hold anything in my head. Have you ever been to Canada? No. Damn, I'm gonna have to get Bojangles tonight. Oh yeah, somebody was asking, do you think the algorithm helped you out on that video? Yes. 100% yes. I do. Like, I was really happy with the first 24 hours of that video because it was just people who were subscribers of mine who knew who I was already, and they loved it, and that's who I made that video for anyway. Like, that video, kind of like this stupid fucking Walmart security tag video. The video, the fucking Don't Know What Time It Is challenge was meant to make people who were already subscribed to me laugh. And then the algorithm picked it up and realized that people would click on it, and then if they clicked on it, they would usually stick around for the whole thing. I think that's generally how the algorithm tends to work. But there was a moment where there was a huge upswing in comments and in views. And there were people who did not know who I was and were comparing me to YouTubers I've never heard of. And I was like, okay, these people have never seen anything on my channel before, except maybe the Walmart security tag video. So I think that is what happened. I'm British. What is Bojangles? Bojangles is a famous chicken and is this flipped for you guys? It's flipped on my screen. Bojangles is a famous chicken and biscuits. That's the end of the sentence. Bojangles is a famous chicken and biscuits. Now they did give me a spork. Holds up spork. Maybe for the Bowberry biscuits. Does the bag? Oh, you're right. Wave. One of my lovely moderators just pointed out that the bag does in fact say it's bow time on it. That's fucking sick. Awesome. Is KFC still disgusting in the US? Yeah, but it's not as bad as it is in Japan. KFC in Japan is dog shit awful, man. It's so bad. Not good. The first video I saw from you was the one about the Spider-Man 2 dev playing Marvel Spider-Man. Thank you. I really struggled with how to title that video. I don't know why I said thank you. You didn't say you liked it. You just said you saw it. So, maybe you hated it. But, back at it again. Truly, irrefutably back on my bullshit right now. This biscuit, I love these biscuits because you can tell that it was sawed in half by a human. Somebody fallible, you know? It's a janky cut. Huh. Parcel says KFC in the EU is really good. That's crazy. I wouldn't have expected that. Samuel Messner says, I love the Marble Blast videos. Thank you. That game rules. I need to go back to it because my one problem with that game is that there wasn't enough content in it at launch. Like, it was just really, really, really fucking short. I almost beat it in one sitting when I streamed it for the first time. Zach Gibbs says, good morning. Where are you at? California or North Carolina? North Carolina right now. Back to California in about a week. KFC in Canada is extra greasy, but it's good. God, I wish you could see the Bojangles logo through that back window. That'd be so perfect. I worked at KFC. It's really gross. My dad used to work at a Wendy's when he was in high school, and he says that the highest compliment he can pay Wendy's is that he worked there and he would still eat there. And he's like, his theory is that that's very rarely true of fast food. And I buy that completely and totally. KFC in New Zealand is really good, says Paige Bethany. Scout, can you confirm? Oh, Scout says in New Zealand KFC is average, but there's a big smell which permeates the whole general area of a KFC store. Wow, thank you. Casey did a super chat saying it's bow time. Does Bojangles have good sauce? No, they don't have good sauce. They kind of don't have any sauce. You might be able to get like a packet of hot sauce. Has Bojangles contacted you for a sponsorship? No, but I've had some Twitter DM interactions with them. Very, very limited. I posted the only message they sent me. Can you go and sit in Bojangles? I would, but I have something to do. I have to be somewhere at 9, so I kind of have to eat really fast and then dip. Also, I was thinking about going in there, but like live streaming yourself eating, like let's say you're in a McDonald's in Los Angeles, very different vibe than streaming yourself eating in a sit-down southern restaurant in North Carolina at 9 in the morning. It would be weird. I would get some fucking looks. It would bring shame on my whole family in this town. It would get back to everyone. Samuel Shepard says, we don't have Bojangles in Australia. Thank you for this very special gift. Yeah, I wonder who's watching this generally. I'm seeing a lot of New Zealand, UK, Australian types. It's like what, 5:30 in the morning? I was saying that in a sing-song voice. It's 5:30 a.m. on the West Coast. So everyone in California, it's a Saturday, 5:30 a.m. Everyone's still conked out. Germany, Turkey, Canada, Sweden. Wow, Brazil, 2 Croatians in a row. And then like a lot of, New York, Boston, Alabama. A lot of the East Coast. Colorado, I'm on a delirious sleep schedule too. All right, word. Georgia, parentheses, US. That's where I was born. Yeah, a lot of variety. This is cool. I should ask people where they're from more often. Adriana White just said, that's a healthy chimp. And I think she meant, that's a healthy chomp. Or she's calling me a monkey. Both valid. Oh, Chris Campbell says Sunset Beach. I've been there. That's a nice beach. Yeah, it could be chump also. St. Petersburg, Russia. I might keep the stream going for like part of the drive back because I got to drive back anyway. And my fucking Apple AirPods are out of batteries. So, all right. I didn't spend a lot of time talking about or showing off the Cajun filet biscuit because y'all already know what it is. I guess I didn't talk about it that much in the final edit of the video, but there was a lot of footage on the cutting room floor of me kind of reviewing it. It's really good. It's a moist breast. It's a spicy, got a nice crispy outside to it. Let me get you guys like a good, I don't think that the front-facing camera on the iPhone has the capability to actually change focus, but really wish I hadn't said moist breast. So it's like a chicken burger, sort of. It's like a burger if you took all the ingredients in a burger off of the burger and took the 2 remaining ingredients and you changed them for different ingredients. Like instead of a burger, it's a crisp, crunchy, spicy Cajun filet patty, and instead of a bun, it's a buttery biscuit. Why are there no Bojangles in Ohio? I actually do wonder, like, if they've ever considered expanding, you know? Ooh, it's like overcast now. We can kind of see outside a little bit. I don't totally know why I'm Chick-fil-A expanded. That's true, but Happy Bebo says, why do I have the Drake and Josh theme stuck in my head? Let me tell you a story. A couple months ago, I was in Los Angeles, and I went out to get lunch with some friends, and afterwards, we all parted ways, and I called an Uber. I think I actually called a Lyft, if you want to get technical, but I called a Lyft back to my apartment. Kind of get on the phone with the guy. I'm in kind of a big like grocery store / restaurant parking lot, and I'm having trouble pinning him down, but I do eventually find him. I don't know why I'm including all this extra color in the story, other than to put you in my shoes, because I find the dude, I see him, make eye contact, I cross in front of him, get in the passenger's side of his car, and I'm not fucking exaggerating. The first thing he says to me, literally the first thing he says to me, when I sit down, I'm like, how's it going? He's like, hey, you know that show Drake and Josh? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you kind of look like a mix of both of them. And it was the most fucking insane read. It was the most rad I've ever fucking felt in my life by an absolute stranger. Like, it was so fucked up. I was like kind of in like stunned into silence. I was just like, holy fucking shit. Like, you just came up with that? It really fucking freaked me out. Really fucking got me. Yeah, he did get 5 stars. Okay, I gotta hurry. That looks like some of the Bojangles employees did a little biscuit challenge of their own in the back. And whoever frosts it last has to... Anyways, this looks really weird when it's just a solo. Oh, this does look good. Look that there is There is a blueberry color to it. I'll tell you this. I love a blueberry muffin more than almost anything. The imagery is a lot, but I'm going in. User named Iced Tea, whose icon is a picture of iced tea, asks, do they have good iced tea? It's funny you mention it. They have amazing iced tea at Bojangles. It's like that disgustingly oversweet, like southern iced tea, where it feels like they've dissolved the maximum amount of sugar that you can dissolve in a liquid before it just starts piling up at the bottom. Like they were in a laboratory working on that. This is good. It's a little indulgent. I wonder how this would be without the frosting. It might be better. Somebody said the latency on the stream is mental. We're talking a second or two. That's cool. Yeah, YouTube's gotten really good at the low latency shit. I hope that's what you were saying. Do they have iced coffee? I don't know. All right. What does this remind me of? It reminds me of something specific, and it's not a blueberry muffin. Let me see if I can place it. It was kind of an undercooked bite. Kind of didn't seem like it was a little doughy. Someone says, "Can we have a bite?" Yeah. Look at that. How would you rank this food represented as a Sonic character? I'd say that this is Big the Cat, because I disregarded it for like a decade, and I'm now realizing that it's actually good, just like Big the Cat. And also, it's the same color as Big the Cat. Blue and white. A pretty good answer, huh? I bet you weren't expecting such a fucking good answer. All right. I gotta skedaddle. What does that fucking taste like? It tastes like a... You know what it fucking tastes like? I figured it out. It tastes like a Nutri-Grain bar. Like, I'm not getting a ton of blueberry specific taste there. I'm just getting general berry. But I guess it's not called blueberry, right? It's called bowberry. So, they weren't promising any blueberry, but the color and phonetically it's similar to... I just was kind of hoping and dreaming. Yeah, that was maybe not worth the caloric. Do you have a California or North Carolina license? Who can say? Now, interesting thing about this Bojangles is to get out of it, I have to go through a traffic circle. Do you guys know what a traffic circle is? I'm gonna tilt the camera, maybe you can see it a little better. A traffic circle is a big ass circle, and they kind of don't exist that often. I'm sure anyone in the UK knows what the fuck this is, but it's a big ass circle. This is only exciting to Americans. Everyone in Europe is like, who gives a shit? It's a big circle. I'm gonna take a couple laps here. It's a big circle that exists instead of a traditional intersection, or a tradsec, as we call them. And it allows you to just go in a big circle. And I'm gonna take one more lap for pleasure. It allows you, is this illegal? If a cop saw me going around a traffic circle 3 times, would he arrest me? Anyways, I'm starting to feel a little weird. Oh boy. Just ate a lot of food really fast and started spinning in my car. This is, oh God, I'm starting to drift a little. Ooh, initial D, baby. Looks like the Bojangles employees pulled out their initial D on that biscuit in there. That's a traffic circle. It allows you to spin around. They're getting more and more common in America. The roundabout, they're saying. Is that what you call it overseas? Let me just drive my car for a second. Traffic circle is what I swear, I'm not making that up. I think you think that I'm the only one who calls it a traffic circle. That's what Americans call it. It's very new technology for us, so leave us alone. It's a big circle. It's a roundabout. Yeah, you can see that the Europe representation in the chat is popping off big time. It's called a traffic circle. And frankly, I would start calling it a traffic circle if I were you. And then when your mates are like, what's all that then? You can be like, actually, that's what the intellectuals across the pond at Harvard are calling it. So that's what I would say to do if I was in your shoes, if I was in your position. I swear to God, I'm not the only one. Oh, in the Netherlands, it's called a rotonde. Interesting. Siri, read all the chat out to me. Luckily, this is a pretty nude stretch of road. Nope, stop. Why are you guys acting like there's Americans in the chat now trying to gaslight me into thinking that we call it a roundabout here? That's, you can't even say roundabout without accidentally inflecting a British accent. You're fucking with me. Nobody says that. Yeah, you gotta go down to 33rd Street and then go on the roundabout and then head on up to 3rd Avenue. Nobody, that's not, you can't put that in the middle of an American sentence. It doesn't sound right. You're goofing on me. This is all, you guys are all doing a practical prank upon me. Google traffic circle. No goofs or gaffs or spoofs. You know what's insane to think about? That it was a commercial that went up on Tim and Eric's YouTube channel advertising one of their tours. It might have been the Just Islands tour or like Europe tour, but one of the Tim and Eric Awesome Tour trailers, there's a line where Tim goes, I showed it to my dad, he said it was a very funny goof and a spoof. And it's insane how that one fucking line from a commercial for a tour for an Adult Swim TV show had such outsized influence on all of comedy. Anytime you hear anyone talking about a goof, I swear you can draw a pretty fucking direct line back to Tim Heidecker saying in that commercial, I can't do much if you're not coming to see Worf. What else is going on? Traffic squares. Yeah, that's what we should call intersections. There's traffic squares and traffic circles. Or roundabouts and squareabouts for our good mates across the colonies. Premium prices. I'm not carrying these around. I'm just gonna stop. I could just inadvertently go into a sort of a fugue state where I just end up quoting Awesome Show bits out loud because it's so fucking burned into my DNA. It's I bet you're right, Felix, but you're just proving my point. Felix says, I bet if you went to the Wikipedia article, this is such a specific way of saying this, which I really love. It's like, I love how you chose to make this point. If you went to the Wikipedia article for traffic circles, it would redirect to the Wikipedia article for roundabout. I think you're totally right, but I think we're agreeing, you know? I mean, you guys invented them. You used to take your trolleys and horses around them on your way to cricket practice, and so I think you guys get dibs on calling whatever you want over there. But as soon as you start trying to tell us here in the colonies what we're gonna call them, well, I'll need to remind you what happened last time you guys tried to tell us what to do. It didn't go too well for the Queen. I'll tell you that right now. So jot that down. Jot that down right away. I just remembered that I asked the Bojangles employee what time it was, and he said, "What time is it?" And I said, "Yeah," and he said, "It's bow time." I can't wait to show that to Ian. He's gonna be very happy with that. Ian O'Brien, the guy I keep mentioning, is the guy who edited that video for me, and he obviously, I'm sure you guys agree, did a freaking amazing job editing that video. Like, insanely. I was so nervous because I had never worked with an editor on my channel before, and he just killed it. He did such a fucking good job. It felt so perfect tonally for the type of stuff I make. Yeah, he just killed it. I'm definitely going to do more stuff with him in the future. But man, he really set the tone beautifully. I gave him so much footage of me just literally losing my mind. It was probably at least an hour of video, and maybe more. And the fact that he was able to cut it down that beautifully and have it not be boring the whole way through. Also, shouts out to one of my childhood friends, Ryan. I was hanging out with one of my buddies from middle school actually, Ryan, a couple weeks ago, and I had just gotten back an early draft of the What Time It Is challenge video from Ian, and I was looking it over because I kept sending Ian notes back and forth of like, hey, this is great, I would change this, and this, and I was showing it to a friend of mine because I wanted feedback. I put a lot of time and effort and energy from multiple people goes into these videos, as effortless and stupid as they might seem, and they are, and they should seem that way. I do care a lot about them. But I was showing it to my friend Ryan, and just really the problem that I had with it was so boring at the beginning. Like, the opening of the video was just me standing in front of the mirror holding my phone like this, talking for like a minute, and I was like, fuck, if anybody clicks on this video, they're gonna get 45 seconds into it and be like, is this whole video just one guy standing in his mirror talking? This sucks. And they're gonna click off and leave. And my buddy Ryan, who doesn't really give a shit about YouTube at all, I don't think has the clearest idea what I do, but he watched the video. He watches a shitload of movies and TV. Like, he loves media. He loves traditional media. He loves trad med, as we call it. He was like, what if you did a montage at the beginning of all the stuff that happens over the course of the night? And I was like, holy fucking shit, that's such a good idea. And I literally think that, like, the success of the video pretty much turned on that decision. Like, completely. That choice, like, is the reason that video did well and was worth watching and didn't bore everyone to tears. So thank you to Ryan for that incredible. I'm going to credit him in my mind as executive producer or something. Samuel says TradMed, TradSec, these traditional abbreviations are getting out of hand. They're called TradAbs, actually, traditional abbreviations. TradBriefs, traditional abbreviations. Alrighty. I'm going to start spinning down, but thank you guys for hanging out with me. I enjoyed this breakfast. That was a real treat. It's 2019. I haven't really uploaded anything of worth yet this year. Mostly because I've been relaxing at home. But also, there's stuff coming. Some shit I'm really excited about. Some shit that'll come together quickly. Some shit that'll come together slowly. Some stuff I haven't even thought of yet, probably, because that's usually how this shit goes. But I promise to trust my gut and just make whatever stupid fucking ideas come to me, because clearly you guys enjoy that as much as I enjoy making it. Woo! Alright. Thank you guys very much for watching. Love you very much. And good night or good morning, whatever.